Once again, we visit the biggest supplier of misinformation on YouTube, Taboo Conspiracy. Yeah, he goes by the name Taboo Conspiracy 2 nowadays. His channel was blocked by YouTube a while ago for spreading conspiracy nonsense, so he did the next best thing. He created a new channel by adding the 2 at the end of his name, and simply kept spreading conspiracy nonsense. I suppose it's only a matter of time before YouTube catches up with him again, so maybe we'll see Taboo Conspiracy 3 in the future. You think? Aside from all that, Taboo Conspiracy recently posted a video revisiting some older footage that he felt compelled to address again for some reason. I think he must believe, as long as he simply reposts everything, his message will ultimately be believed by more gullible people and like-minded individuals who feed off misinformation the same way he does. So let's pay a visit to Taboo Conspiracy 2 and discuss sailboats, bad media, and a video from Antarctica. I'm Jonni Glitch, and I'm on a quest for conspiracy nonsense.
Globe propagandists out there trying to deceive you. I think even the honest flat earth skeptic would have to agree with everything I'm going to present here today.
Well, that's basically the opening of Taboo Conspiracy's video, and he seems to cherish it quite a bit because he shows it in several of his other videos. So I decided to crush this one right now. The reflection in the mask clearly shows another person in a suit of some sort. We can only assume that the person is taking the video because it isn't clear enough to show a camera anywhere. Also, the individual is several meters away, but this clip states the shadow in the mask is a scuba diver. You see, herein lies the trouble with flat earthers. They love using absolute statements like, "that is a scuba diver." They also accept things at face value. Basically, what they believe they see is what they believe in the end. I made another video by explaining absolutes and face value comparisons. Taking things at face value seems to be the modus operandi of the flat earth, doesn't it? To start things off, I suppose we need to see what a scuba diver actually wears while training the astronauts. Okay, here I'm showing the neutral buoyancy lab from NASA on jonathanbird.net. So I went to his YouTube channel because he had a nice 4K version of what's going on. So let's check out what they're wearing. So you see the astronaut nice, and you see all the divers around him. Now this diver over here has a full face mask with a couple of tanks. Divers in the background, they're either in a suit or not in a suit, but they're all wearing just goggles. And the diver down here is they're all wearing dual oxygen tanks, but they're all just on their backs. That's where the tanks are located. Again, full face mask, but no helmets. I don't see a single helmet anywhere. Notice everyone, their legs are bent. They're wearing flippers, and they're all ready to go, ready to help out the astronaut because that's what they're trained to do. Now you notice this guy right here is with a camera. That's probably his primary purpose. There are cameramen down there. Whoop, oh, there he is right here, on the left here. But he's not wearing a helmet. Look at he's constantly kicking his feet to stay in position. They're all got their legs bent, they all got flippers on, and they're all wearing goggles. Well, so far nothing fits the description of a scuba diver. So let's look at an actual astronaut in a spacesuit. Okay, what I've done is found another video of a cosmonaut, and I've taken one of the images that's in roughly the same orientation. So what I'm going to do is just extract that image, paste it right here. Yeah, nice, huh? So I'll just flip him around, there you go. Now he's in sort of the same orientation. Take this image and brighten it up, enhance it a little bit. Alright, I get this. Now you notice, when I enhance it, you see a helmet here. You also see a tank. His life support tank is similar to what he has over here. right behind the astronaut. Now the same style of helmet is right there, and yes, you can see the outline of the tank going up here. Matter of fact, right there behind his head is the upper portion of the tank, which is this. Let me bring this image here, real close. So this portion here in the back behind his helmet is highlighted here. You can see it. There is a highlighted section. His helmet with the lights, which is similar to this right here, on the side is here, but it's so washed out by the brightness of the light that's shining here. And that's what you get. That's what this image is this guy right here. Now check this out. I'm going to take that and color it to this. Now it's more black and white now, right? Now let's make it transparent. Now line it up. I'm going to line up everything as close as I can get it. Yeah, there we go. Now he almost fits perfect right there. That image fits almost perfect, which shows an astronaut's figure, not a scuba diver figure. It's ridiculous, absolutely ludicrous to think that that is a scuba diver there and not an astronaut. How is that a scuba diver? One other thing, if you look more into the video, you see the legs of the reflection of the cameraman. If this were a scuba diver, would he not be wearing flippers? I don't see any sign of flippers in this at all. Now granted, his hand is probably right here, his reflection of his hand is here. He might be hiding something, but there's no sign of flippers. Scuba divers always wear flippers, and they rarely stand straight up like that. Scuba divers rarely have their legs absolutely straight. They're always bent, ready to paddle. Okay, I think that puts an end to the scuba diver, cameraman, astronaut, cosmonaut theory. So let's see what else Taboo Conspiracy has to say.
I was presented this video from Red's Rhetoric. Actually, it was a longer observational video of a sailboat supposedly disappearing behind the curvature. This is a shortened version.
Did anyone else notice this object way out in the background moving around? Anybody see that?
It was a longer observational video of a sailboat.
Just curious, what is that? Isn't that strange?
A sailboat.
Huh. Just saying.
And this video is still listed by Red's Rhetoric as proof of the curvature.
Yeah, and it's still proof of a boat going over the horizon because the bottom of the boat isn't there. What else can it be?
I actually thought the globe proponents were right at first glance. But I watched the video carefully, and I noticed something was wrong with the claim, as the far distant birds were mirroring themselves and disappearing higher than what appeared to be the horizon line.
And keep this image in mind, because the small mirage out there, very far out there in the horizon that Taboo Conspiracy is focusing on, is going to come into play here a little bit later. So keep this in mind.
Jeranism later made a terrific video on the subject. This is still one of my favorite Flat Earth videos ever made because of its impact on me. Here's a short clip of Jaren's video.
Now here I put a little arrow, and if you watch carefully, right at that line, you will see clearly the waves of water as they run by the boat, and you can see the reflection of the left sail in the water. That's not the boat, that is a reflection. Just like in this image here of the sunset, that is not the sun melting into the water, that is the actual water.
Let's go back to this, the sun image right here, and you see the inversion layer at the bottom of the sun here, the sun getting sucked up by the water. Jeranism is looking at this inversion layer right there. Now that is a layer of air in the atmosphere. It's an inversion above the water. The temperature in the atmosphere and the temperature of the water may be a little bit different, causing this mirage. Now Jaren seems to think that the water is actually extended all the way up to where it meets the sun right there. He thinks that's just an extension of the water and an extension of the horizon. That there is an inversion layer and it shows going up at least to this level.
This image here, this gentleman walking on a mirage street, and obviously the bottom of his body has been eaten up.
Eaten up, huh? So you're saying those guys' legs are now, what, shrunk, cut off, gone, vanished, just because of the mirage? What about the road? I mean, is he sinking into the road? Okay, again, same issue with the sun. He's looking at a mirage layer here, and he believes that the mirage layer itself is the only thing hiding this man's legs, hiding this woman's legs, hiding this guy's legs over here. Now, the mirage on the left side of the road is a little bigger. That's only because there's a depression in the road at that point before the road goes down a hill. Now, there's a slight incline in the hill, or decline if you will. The road goes down a hill. These people back here are 30 or 40 meters behind this woman here. Zoomed in like this, it appears that the images are much closer, but he could be more than that. He could be 50 meters behind these people. That road goes down. That's what it is. So this mirage layer that Jaren is talking about, he believes it's much bigger. And he believes that this man's legs are being hidden by that entire layer. When in fact, it's not, because the layer is only that big. So how can you tell me that that small layer is hiding all of this gentleman's legs? It's not going to happen.
And that is what's happening on the ocean when we look at boats. The bottom of the boat has been eaten up. Here you can look underneath that right sail. There's nothing there, whereas the actual boat, which I superimposed, had different sections of the boat there.
Zooming in, you see the other boat is still missing the bottom of the boat, no matter where that mirage is. And when we finish zooming in here, you notice that the ship is still missing some of the bottom of it. Even if the mirage layer is that thick right there, if the mirage layer is there, then where's the rest of the boat? Right there. You're still missing that much of the boat. It's not there. Where is it then? So if the bottom of the boat is not hidden by that mirage layer, then it must be hidden by something else. And that something else is the ocean. And what could the ocean be doing to hide it? Yeah, a mystical, magical phenomenon known as curvature that your minds cannot comprehend. Gee, it's hard to debunk something when the original video actually debunks itself. I don't think anything further needs to be said about this. If they're worried about a mirage, then they need to stay out of the Midwest United States, or deserts for that matter. This video clearly showed where the mirage was, but they never addressed what happened from the waterline and below. And they couldn't explain what happened to the bottom of the boat, so I'm not going to go any further.
Then we had Soundly show up with his video as proof of the curvature. And this video of his made Soundly famous as a flat earth debunker. Just like Red's Rhetoric's video, the video image is unquestioningly distorted by a mirage, creating only the appearance of curvature. Here's a video on a subsequent day by a flat earther showing how there is absolutely no curvature there when there is no mirage present. Again, it's provable and demonstrable that Soundly's video is not proof of curvature, but of the peculiar visual effects of an opaque mirage. Any truthful investigator would have to conclude the same. But not one Globe supporter will point out Soundly's obvious falsehood. Soundly is a fraud, and all of his Globe supporters like Metabunk, who use Soundly's video as proof of curvature, are despicable enemies of truth, and that makes them anti-God.
So now a mirage is causing the curvature, and any Glober believing the curve is a despicable enemy of truth and anti-God. Oh, quote from somebody? You just made that up. Come on. So you're saying the clear, pretty, beautiful day image with everything clearly visible is no good to you. Yet the flat earth looking image with all the towers in a straight line, there's no mirage, there's no atmospheric activity, there's nothing acting on the end of it there to keep it straight. Now everything's just as clear as day, huh? Beautiful, hazy, brown day is better than the beautiful blue sky, blue water day, right? Well, if you don't like the clear blue image on a clear day, and you like the brown hazy image with all the atmospheric activity at the end, there's a contradiction here, because Ranty Flat Earth has something different to say about that.
This is obviously the research into the inferior mirage. So what's going on here? Well, the fold on this top image here, which is basically, it's the same location, same observer height, same tide height, everything was the same. And when we look at this, and people will say, well, how can people believe that this is being loomed up and this is reality? You know, this smudge at the top is reality if you believe the globe, and yet when you see this bottom image where it's really clear,
Refraction.
and refraction, it's being loomed up.
Right.
Which is the exact opposite of what Taboo Conspiracy is saying. So it sounds like you guys are saying two completely different things. Ranty is stating he would much rather go for the clear image. He doesn't like that gray, blurry blob. He doesn't like all that junk up there. But now you're saying you do. Which brings into the question this picture once again. You know, you guys might want to talk to each other now and then just to get your story straight. And because of that controversy, you're not going to convince anybody of anything. Now, Taboo states Soundly and Metabunk are frauds and despicable enemies of truth. Hard to believe when these individuals have studied and researched this phenomenon extensively. Spent many hours compiling data and video to formulate an educated conclusion based on objective evidence that is not only peer-reviewed, but provable. Metabunk has also created equations to further prove how the atmosphere can manipulate distant objects and even the apparent horizon. I would venture to say they have a little more time than Taboo Conspiracy does researching this stuff. Who has about, 0.0 seconds researching anything? Soundly comments about this very topic in one of his own videos.
There is not. Do you see any distortion in this picture? I mean, what are they talking about, distortion? Compare this picture, which, by the way, is way higher resolution in RAW, right? I mean, compare this picture to this video, please. Which one is better? Or this video? Or this picture? Let's be honest, guys, okay? Let's graduate past kindergarten. Let's move this conversation at least into middle school. Because this picture is 5 times higher resolution than those pictures. That's all there is to it.
Alright, for this next segment, and probably the rest of the video, I'm going to have to go all flat earth around everybody because they found something that is actually verified as buffoonery by the Discovery Channel. I looked at it, I confirmed it. It's faked. So, because of that, I'm going to have to go all flat earth on you. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to change my video background, my video theme, everything. I mean, the background would definitely need to be changed because the flat earth can't have a spaceship for a background. They don't believe in space or spaceships. Yeah, I would first need to change the background. Now, back in a minute. Welcome to the Flat Earth Van. You know, the reason I'm here is to go ahead and show the Discovery Channel video on proving the curvature of the Earth. To the best of my knowledge, it was discovered by a flat earther that an error showed some film editing buffoonery. So I did go ahead and check out the video and was able to confirm there was indeed something wrong. Here's what I mean. I also confirmed this myself. I took a look and said, nah, I don't believe it, but he's right. There's no denying it. Look at the difference here with the window going up and down the horizon. The birds don't come in until the helicopter's almost disappeared over the horizon. The birds are the key frame here. See, now the birds coming into view at the reticle, no helicopter whatsoever. Now, we fast forward a little bit. Let's get back here. Now, the window, the birds are in view. And when they come to the reticle, there's a helicopter there, and they cut immediately to the telescope scene. So I determined when the helicopter's coming up is when they photoshopped it or CGI'd it, the helicopter coming up. The birds are the key frame, so the birds are touching there. The ocean itself is a fingerprint. Notice the wave structures. Notice everything in the wave. This dark blotch here, this blotch here, this over here. So what I did was, I also went above and beyond and compared two frames. The birds are in the same place. The ocean itself is the fingerprint. They're in the exact same orientation. All the waves are the exact same. However, the top photo is a helicopter, the bottom one, no helicopter. So now the integrity of the Discovery Channel is in question, isn't it? You know, I have my own theory of why they did it, but I wanted to hear it straight from the source anyway, so I asked the Discovery Channel to send me some information regarding this video and why it was removed from YouTube. I did get a message confirmation, but have yet to receive an actual reply. That was a week before I made this video. Now, I'll comment down in the video when I do receive the message, if ever. Okay, next we have a production video of Antarctica showing a 24-hour sun. Now, there are two videos, actually, and I'll give a brief explanation of both.
The clip you're going to see is from a documentary called Antarctica: A Year on Ice. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there, but I think it was DITRH who originally discovered this little gem, and you can definitely check it out for yourself. But let's start off with the whole clip unedited. It's a little boring, but I want you to see it unedited to prove that I'm not taking anything out of context.
It's the middle of summer. You can check the time. It's just after 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock midnight though.
Okay, I sped up the film a little bit here just so we don't have to sit and watch it all in real time. So a little time-lapse action for you.
Now, you're going to see the beginning of the time-lapse, and then the end of the time-lapse. Two little clips. Please note that these two clips are supposed to be separated by 24 hours. Did you notice the problem?
Yeah, actually, I did notice the problem. You're not actually showing the actual beginning and end of that video clip. You're only showing the production beginning and end of that clip after editing. The beginning and end of the clip is something you already saw that you skipped, but is blatantly obvious. Here, let me show you. Yeah, you see it as it goes here. The sun goes around the backside of this video. And it keeps going and going, and right there, you see it glitched and stopped, and then continued. That is the actual begin and ending of that video. That is it. The only reason you see the rest of this video is because it looked a lot better with the sun coming over the mountain with the clouds going through it. It was a much more dramatic effect. That's why they chose this one. See? That looks a whole lot more beautiful than staring at a snow-covered building or something. So that's all it is. Taboo Conspiracy, you are providing conspiracy nonsense.
Let me share just one more clip of Antarctica fakery. This is from an entirely different Antarctica documentary. But let's get to the main point. Again, please watch the original clip unedited. This isn't something I really need to spend time on. There are a few more detailed analysis videos out there showing that the sun is fake by comparing it to real images of the sun, like in this time-lapse video. But you have to be a damn idiot if you think that that Antarctic video is showing genuine footage of the sun.
Yeah, damn idiot. Oh my god. Hey, by the way, have you ever heard of lens flare effects? Have you ever heard of dramatic lighting? You ever heard of video editing? I mean, other than just clipping video clips together or pasting them together and merging them, there are video effects out there that make the sun look cartoonish. That's obviously a dramatic effect they made for a production video. Again, it's a lens flare effect. Are you also saying that's a fake sun? So what if they take the lens flare effect away? What if they take the watch away? What if they take all the compass points away, the north, south, east, and west away? Then what would you say? You see how boring that would have been. They chose to add all these special effects to the video, but it still does not make the video fake. They added dramatic lighting and other effects to make the video interesting. Misinformation and conspiracy nonsense once again. Well, we looked at sailboats going over the horizon, with a mirage being blamed for the entire disappearance of the boat, even though the boat was clearly going over a curvature, or at least clearly going over the horizon, which no explanation was given by Taboo Conspiracy or Jaronism, other than a small band of mirage, which did not explain anything at all. We looked at Lake Pontchartrain again, and explained why a pitiful, blurry blob is no match for a perfectly clear and crisp image of curvature. By the way, mirages do not produce a curvature. We also learned the flat earth community doesn't even agree on what is acceptable for proof of flatness. We then looked at some media buffoonery, which, by the way, I confirmed it was buffoonery. Good job to whoever pointed that out. It only proves bad media. It doesn't prove curvature or flatness. Then we had a go at the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, which, by the way, was not disproven. Taboo Conspiracy merely pointed out his dislike for video editing and special effects, while not even comprehending what is the actual beginning or end of a video. That's just a basic video editing technique, and it does not take away from the authenticity of the video in any way whatsoever. You would have to be a damned idiot not to recognize that. Conspiracy nonsense does run rampant in the flat earth community, and it needs to be checked every now and again. I'm happy to provide it. And by the way, this is still not a scuba diver. Get over it. I'm Jonni Glitch, and this has been a quest for conspiracy nonsense.